This is Tanya Lynn with the Sistership Circle podcast. From spirituality, sexuality, and sisterhood to business, relationships, contribution, and creativity, the Sistership Circle podcast introduces a new model of feminine leadership where women get real and vulnerable about it all. Tune in for authentic advice that will empower you to be bold, beautiful, and brilliant as your true self. Okay, we are live.
Good afternoon.
So happy to have you here, Sai Maa. So for everyone tuning in, Sai Maa is coming to San Diego. She's actually in San Diego. She will be doing Darshan tomorrow, Saturday. I am so excited. I remember the last time you were here and myself and my little one received Darshan from you. It was such a magical experience. So thank you. So for anyone who does not know what Darshan is, maybe we can start there and just share what exactly Darshan is, and then we'll move into...
You experience it. What about if you share?
Well, you spoke. I remember this was a couple years ago. This was back in 2015 when I interviewed you. And I remember that you said some beautiful things, and then I came up and my experience of you was just this bright light and just this presence.
Correct.
And you spent a little bit of time, just blessing my baby at the time. And I felt very moved by that experience. Yeah.
Darshan has no exact translation. It can be translated as the divine presence, the presence of the divine, the presence of your soul, or the presence of your I am self, the presence of your higher self. The Darshan of my guru is for me my I am presence in physical form. And depending my state of mind at that time, I will perceive him differently. Nevertheless, when I was completely free and open, nearly going to him as an empty cup, this is when I got the most. Because I didn't have anything in my mind system. My mindset, in two words, if I could say mindset, in two words, was not interacting with what he was offering. The beauty of Darshan is, imagine the sun, and that your door is not closed, your windows are not closed. So you receive all of it. And as it is a reflection of your own very self, it knows you. And it naturally moves, expand your heart, enlighten your mind, clean your karma. That's a big work for gurus, is to clean the karma of those who come. And those who work with the guru, naturally their karma get to a place of, they notice even more when they go to see the master once or twice a year, where they were and what's happening. And it's easy for them to realize, wow, what's happening? I am not the same. I react differently. Where am I? It's a beautiful, it's something that I think should never stop on the planet until every single person is enlightened one day, or at least more than 50%.
What I'm really hearing is it's a practice in receiving, and it's a practice in emptying out and being open to the divine presence.
I will say the second more than the first, because the moment you are open, you receive. It's not receiving first and be open. You go, it's like a child comes to you. When you come from work, when your child comes to you, the child is not thinking about receiving from you.
No.
The child is empty. before this enlightenment, so many things which are off. We have to go with that too. The guru doesn't judge. The guru will, these vines, but the guru will straighten it up so you are in alignment. That's the job of the guru. It's not easy for the guru. It's probably more difficult for the guru than for the student or disciple, because the disciple change all the time. The guru knows the guru has a work to do. It's a job to clean, to take layers, to take this gluey karma out. Mm-hmm. And mostly in this very time, I just arrived from India. I was in Kashi, Varanasi, Benares, which is the world. It's amazing to be with more than 200,000 people just in 24 hours. Then I came back.
Wow.
Shiva called, I went.
So lucky us that you've had just this incredible experience in Varanasi and Kashi, and now we get to soak that up as well.
And Darshan is going to be gifted with that.
Amazing. Amazing. I love that distinction of being open to receive. And one of the things I really want
to receive, just being open. You see, a flower open there's no condition to openness. Flowers open. The rock is there, open. The sun open itself. The stars, the galaxies. There's no condition. Real love is like this. It has no condition. Now, if somebody come to a master and say, I'm asking you to take me to the path of light, this is a condition. So the master will love unconditionally. But the relationship will say, you asked for this, I'm giving it to you. You have your part, I have my part. Take your responsibility and ownership, and I take mine. Not to confuse love and relationship. So stay open at all time. Take whatever you hear to evolve. That's the key. Evolution. Use your mind. Understand how your mind works. Use the power. I'm giving this course, the 6-month course, and 6 months for exercise and the rest after. But this full year, I have my meditation room and I prepare myself with all of you as an audience in front of me. So when I'm giving that course, I'm one-on-one with you. I'm looking at you. I'm inviting you to be part of that hall, of that room with me. And it's amazing how it is transforming people's life, because after the hurricane, I found out a long time ago, but I realized how still now people don't understand the mind. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they don't want. They don't know what they desire. They are still functioning in an old paradigm. So I was on my way to Japan, and I got the thought, let me create something. And when I was in Japan giving a course, boom, the idea just came, and I jumped into it and create a course to explain to each one of you how your mind functions. You see, all of you has been educated or programmed with an environment system. Never your programmation. Always the programmation of somebody else. And with your senses. I'm taking you, using your senses, but I'm taking you beyond the enlightened intelligence that you carry in your subtle bodies. Use that to teach you your mind, for you to understand your mind and step into you. And it's amazing. And Baba asked me for my birthday. Well, for my birthday, he's supposed to give me a gift, but he gave me work. That's my gift. Take everybody who works with me to the path that I went through myself. So,
can you share a little bit about that path?
So here I am, 21 years, and I left my island for the first time. I left my sisters, parents for the first time, was supposed to go with my school friends to Cambridge for medical school medical program. And a month before, I shift gear and I went to France. And went to France to become what? To be a nanny. That was outrageous for my family. So I was very isolated, not knowing the language, knowing nobody, meeting the fall, the season for the first time, the clothing, the food, everything. So it was difficult, very difficult. And at a point, I started to learn the language and accelerate it. I was a florist. I was a receptionist. Different kind of jobs. And I did 12 years of psychoanalysis. This changed my life. This took me to a place of understanding what is the mind. How, and the Lacanian style of how, it's an esoteric way at the same time. And I had time where I only speak. He will not say nothing. Then there was a phase where he will speak to me. And I was a special case to him also. So I learned to know about myself. The good thing was I had all this spiritual background and I could put the puzzles together a little maybe faster than a Westerner. That helped. Yes.
And now here you are.
I surrendered because who am I? That's the main question. What is the mind? What is a thought? What is a paradigm? A paradigm is a multitude, and in French it's even more beautiful, une multitude d'idées, of ideas, of thoughts, of things, of program that has been inside of me. Now I have to question myself, am I okay with that? Can I change that? What are my steps? And that's what I'm teaching in that course online.
Beautiful.
And it heals. It's amazing how it heals. Because you get to understand your conscious mind. You get to understand what you can refuse, what you can accept. You get to understand not to react. You can to understand mostly what is your subconscious mind. You see, we have many minds under the umbrella of one mind. And understanding it's knowledge. And at the end, you will find out how much knowledge you carry, you were born with. It's not something I'm giving you. I'm giving you the understanding, how to unlock, how to untangle every emotion that people are in and distinguish this from that from this, love from relationship, wrong from right. At a point, there's neither wrong nor right. It's simply a paradigm.
I love that.
You imagine when your daughter gets this kind of information, your child gets this kind of information. They have a different DNA. They have a different consciousness. When they have this kind of knowledge at a point, 7 years old, 6 years old, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. With the world right now and everything going on, and I'd love to hear your perspective, but this whole right or wrong, and a lot of times I see people posting, that if you're a Trump supporter, unfriend me, we're not friends anymore, or just there feels like there's a lot of judgment out there, a lot of division.
That's until enlightenment is be there. That's okay. It's good to have judgment, and it's good to use discernment. I will tell you, when I travel around the world, people ask me, Ma, how is it? This is the presidency of the country. I said, that shows you where the consciousness of Americans are. That's all. It's a new country. I cannot judge the country. It's a new country. You can't compare it to any other country. It's a new country. It's like a new child. It's learning how to walk. It falls, it gets up, it falls. No issue. Just as much as possible, each person has to take ownership of their thought, of their feelings, and of their action, and manage to be in harmony and in alignment so that there's fulfillment, so that there's peacefulness within oneself, and be free. peacefulness.
Yeah, I really feel that as there's a lot of upheaval that we're all experiencing. A lot of people are experiencing within. And so that's what we're seeing.
What is the meaning of upheaval, please?
Upheaval.
I learned English very late. So.
Yeah, no, just what you're saying about peace, right? So a lot of people are having a lot of inner conflict as they're discovering themselves. And so, that's what we're seeing out there in the world. So the outer world as a reflection.
Whatever we see outside is a reflection of ourselves.
Yeah.
The day the planet will be, the inhabitants of this planet will be more than 50% in a peacefulness place, there will be peace on the whole planet. Because we've gone beyond 50%. That's my theory.
Yeah. And and so the amount of people who are depressed or the amount of people who are just having issues in their lives. A lot of people are not at peace.
My love, again, nobody has explained them about their mind.
Mm. Yeah.
So they are letting their senses take over, their lower emotion takes over, and there's no action for them to move into their higher faculties. Explain them about their mind. They'll come out of it. Tell them, what is your desire? My desire is to be healthy. Okay, let's take action to be healthier. We can be a mentor to each other.
Yeah. Mm.
It has become a fashion to be depressed. It has become a fashion to be this, to be that. We have to take ownership.
Mm.
For that, we have to understand.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And so basically you're teaching people how to understand the mind, how to clear the old learning of, and how it's not even ours.
Deprogram, exactly. Deprogram the programmation, which is not ours, correct.
So it's kind of like we're all computers and you are updating the software.
Absolutely. Very well spoken.
I love that. One of the things that I do in my work is a sistership circle. We focus on women's empowerment, leading women's circles, bringing women together, and really the rise of the divine feminine.
Do you know why you are doing this? I have a question for you.
Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe that this is a loaded question. I think a lot of women have forgotten who they are as women. And
not even that.
Not even that.
The planet is a feminine energy.
Yes.
She's being enlightened right now.
Mm.
She's moving, and she is in the fifth dimension now. So she's being enlightened. The fact that she's a feminine energy and she's being enlightened, guess what's going to happen to all the feminine energy?
It's waking up.
That's the reason you move into that place. So women wish to change, to be different, to be in a different place. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Or else it's like Cinderella, she sleeps until there's a time she just wake up. Or she goes and wake the prince. It's similar. The earth has been asleep on purpose. It was a contract with herself, nearly.
Can you say a little bit more about that?
That's very long. That's a long story. Only what I can say to you, the planet is being enlightened right now. That's what, and the fact that you are feminine, any feminine energy is moving with her, uplifted, elevated, a higher consciousness. It's not about being against men. It's not about, because at the same time, the men has the feminine in them as well. You have the masculine in you on your right side. In the tradition of Shiva Purana, we see it very clearly. Shiva is both male and female, feminine and masculine, and you are the same. Radha and Krishna, it is the same thing. So And the man has both. What's happening is one part of the hemisphere is starting to be more evolving now. And the heart of the man is expanded more and more. If you look at the men who are the age of 30 years today, this man has a more expanded heart because their mother didn't tell them, don't cry because you're a boy. But those who are 60 years old, their mother did tell them, don't cry, be strong, you're a boy. So what happened to their feelings? Their feminine sides was sort of crushed. So it is happening. You see this chaos? For me, out of chaos, there's order. Order is happening. I see even in the Indian tradition to look at all these gentlemen helping their wives, helping their children at home, cooking. It's beautiful to watch. I see how many men started to stay home to take care of their kids now. It's a balance in our brain. We are moving towards this androgynous that we are. I mean, different gender.
I was going to say, that's my husband's in the other room, making sure that when my baby wakes up that she's taken care of while I'm here talking to you. So, yeah, there's an integration and a awakening of the feminine within men. It's beautiful.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's happening in the whole world. It's happening in every single person. You can even look among children nowadays how a boy will take care of a little girl. I watch and I see. It's beautiful. So in this chaos, there is order happening.
And that, I think, can give us hope.
This I cannot answer because I don't function with hope at all. I'm not a believer because in the word believe there's the word lie. I'm not a hope person. I take action. I'm concerned about something, I take action. My business card is round, no beginning, no end, and it's always written divine presence in action, divine love in action, in action. Because I know action. I have to take action if I wish to see something different. This hurricane create that course. Because when I will see these people in their condition, I will ask them question, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I mean, somebody doesn't know what they want. They don't know what they don't want also. That's huge. And the poverty in Florida, the poverty in Texas was shocking for me. New York, I know, but Florida? So I am serving. I go in the villages, in the town, my boots and do what I know I can do. I don't hope for anything. Hope for me has never worked. Since I was, I think, 19 or 17, I've heard peace in the world. I've even heard people get prize of Nobel Peace, but I've never seen the peace. Where is it? You know? Maybe some will not appreciate what I'm saying, but this is my truth. May not be the truth of everybody. But Nobel Prize of what? Where's the peace? I don't see it. And it will not happen until every single human get into their heart, understand their mind, and make the shift in the paradigm. No president, no minister can go out and say, let peace be, or let be at peace, or something like this. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Won't happen.
I love that distinction. And I really see now how your work in taking action to help people with really understanding their minds and having mastery over their minds will then create that peace. And so that is your action.
Master over the, I would say not all the minds, but the senses. Mostly the senses. When you master your senses, you're free. You see, the higher mental faculties are in the higher mental bodies. Mental body. So you're uplifted. when you use your intuition, when you use your harmony, your common sense of harmony, your unreasonable reason, and your heart is free because you start to understand you are not in the struggle anymore. You're not suffering anymore. So you are freer. A step forward, and you will never go back. You will never go back. I trust understanding. I trust knowledge. I know for me knowledge is power. I know knowledge is real. When you have knowledge, you live in the now. There's no past, there's no future. You're so expanded. And naturally you're open. Being open, you welcome. Freedom.
I love that. You know, earlier today I was having a conversation about the Me Too movement and a lot of women coming forward and speaking their truth.
Please?
The what?
Which movement?
The Me Too.
There's so many movements that... What is Me Too?
Yeah, the Me Too movement is women coming forward and...
So Me Too only for women, not for men?
No, there's been men as well, but a lot of media attention around women calling men out on sexual harassment.
Oh, ho, ho.
And the conversation we were having today was around victim and also the men bashing, which is something that you were just talking about earlier. There's nothing wrong with men. It's not about bashing men, because men are also having this awakening as well, and men have the masculine and feminine energy just like women do.
Actually, I think men suffer tremendously. You see, when you look at put two human beings, let's say even two adults together. The woman is going to be pregnant. She's in a state, her hormones, her everything. Has the baby, she breastfed, she is in a state. She's a mother. She knows that love. The man is not getting that. It's totally different. There is something in the woman, in her strength, that the men, even though people think that the men are doing this and that, there's a weakness there that they have not been able to master yet. Observe and you will see. So I'd like to demystify this belief that men are stronger.
Yeah, there's a weakness that is hidden.
Hidden.
And it's a blind spot.
They are strong.
Yeah.
But that's because they don't have that heart, this feeling world, these emotions. And it's not about fault, it's just that they were educated differently, those of my generation. Younger men are different. Both of their brains are being balanced.
I would argue, too, that as a woman myself, being raised in this culture, that I was taught as well that I needed to be strong and that I needed to pretend, like I had it all together and, just... And so a lot of my path has been unconditioning that and getting in touch with my own feelings and learning how to be vulnerable, and opening myself up in that way as well. So I can relate to what you're saying.
Absolutely. And I understand that very well because when I left my family to be in the world, in the West, to study, I have had to be nearly male energy to be where I am today, the only lady Jagat Guru in the Sadhu society. I have had to work and work and work harder probably than the men because there was no room for a feminine energy there. So I understand very well what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. And now would you say that has shifted?
No, it's being shifted.
Been shifted?
It's being now. I mean, regularly. In Kashi I spoke, and I said to some of the ladies, I said, wherever I am today, you can be there too. What I'm noticing, though, all over the world, is like the girls have been educated to get married and have children. Mm-hmm. That's it. They go to university, whether they're in Europe, whether they're in America, Canada, wherever, India, and then they get married, they make children, they stay home. This has to change again. They can do both. It's possible to do both. Now, 2 children who came from this body, so no issue.
I'm learning that as well with 2 small children, 3 and 6 months, where I'm still pursuing my career and doing my work. We have to be
well organized, that's all.
Yeah, it takes something, and I think also there's a lot of support that's needed.
If we are well organized and we dare to ask and be clear what we ask and keep our word when we say we will be here at 6, be there at 6. Don't make it 9. Because then there's no trust between the people who are here to support.
Yeah.
Keep our word, keep our commitment, because it has to do with our children. But continue. Don't stop all activities and become gaga because we have a baby. No. Balance the brain. Again, we go to balance of the brain. It's all about social things, you know. Everybody thinks they have to get married and make kids, period. It's social. Mm-hmm. I recall one day, my son said, why did you get married to Papa? I said, well, to have you in our life. He said, you didn't have to do this. You could call energy and manifest me here. And he was like 10 years old.
Wow.
That was a big teaching for me. And it's true. Esoterically, it's true. Energy is available. Raise our frequency, move into a different paradigm, a different reality, and manifest exactly what we wish. Be precise about it. That's what most humans do not know how to use their mind to be precise. You can get every single thing you wish. You wish to have your yearly income as your monthly income? It's possible. You wish to live in a 3-bedroom apartment from your little tiny thing? It's possible. And it comes to you instantly. Why? Because we are available to give you anything you desire. The issue is that you don't even know what you desire. That's what I'm teaching people now. Mm. Create their paradigm with their desire. Life design. You see, design your life with your personal programmation. Design your life with your leadership.
I see that so much with a lot of the women that I work with. They're not even clear on their own desires.
Absolutely correct.
And why do you think that is? Why are we so disconnected from what we desire?
Because we have been programmed to only function with environment desire. Do this, don't do this, go there, don't go there, hold my hand, don't programmation. So their brain has never been educated. Their mind has never been educated. So what do you have? Chaos. You only hear, I don't know. Have you noticed how many people say, I don't know?
A lot. Everyone.
Instead of saying, I know. I know what I must do, and I'm taking action. It's not I know what I must do, but I don't do it. Take ownership. Be a leader of your life. Design your life.
And so for women like me who are doing it, we are both mothering and holding a business and doing our work in the world. What are some of the things that you would share with me of how I can continue to raise this conscious little being? And
the first thing is, I've never raised a child. I educate a child.
Oh, beautiful.
Raise is for animals for me. As I say, I learn English very late, so I learn the wording and look how the words are placed. Make sure there's a discipline. I come from a disciplined family. Maybe that's why. The child must know there's a time for you. There's a time for the child. The child has to know that there are things he can do in the house and things they can't do in the house. Like in the West, it's like anybody can have, they are 15 years old. Education is to be created by the parents. But explain to them, just don't say no. Explain to them why no. And like say you say, don't touch, every child has burned themselves, yes? And all mothers have said no. The moment we hear no, we want to do it.
Yes.
So we are shifting, we are changing that, we are shifting gear in our own mind so we serve others. Education. I am educating my children. Maybe I'm doing it okay, maybe not. I don't know for now, but I'm not raising them. And give a discipline. Of course, it's not about, and communication, like when I was having my practice at that time, parents will say to me, I said, did you communicate? You express yourself. You hear the difference. Huge difference. Yes, I know you don't wish to go to bed or you don't want to go to bed. I am requesting you go to bed now. Period. I am the parent. And I'm not expressing it myself. I have this habit, and I still do it when I see small children in the hall when I'm walking. I take myself to their level, to their height. So there's a connection, there's a relationship here. It works.
That's beautiful.
Your time is your time. Even if I was not working, I was breastfeeding for 2 years, and there'll be a time where I will just lay down. That'll be my time. Then when they grow up, it was 2 years breastfeeding each one of them, I will put a ribbon on the knob of their door, and I will put a big tape on a big clock and explain when the needle come there, then you can take this out. Education. Discipline.
That's a big one. And I see that with a lot of women, myself included, is we make it all about the child. We lose ourselves in being a mother.
So, I studied that.
Yeah, please.
The mother feels guilty to leave the house, and when the mother come back, it's like everything is the child. But you're losing yourself. Your emotion is what's the point? Love, educate, take care, take your responsibility, and give the child their responsibility at a very young age, and it works.
And by giving the child their responsibility, can you say a little bit more about that?
Here's an example.
Yeah.
One time, my daughter brought all her friends in the house, and then they all left, and she went and do whatever she went, and I'm walking in the house. There was a mess, all the toys in her room. Even though it's in her room, it's in my house. I've never said to the children, this is their house. This is my house and you live here. One day you'll have your own house. For now you live in my house. So it's my rules. Don't lie to them. Because the day you want to sell the house, you want to paint the house, just make sure that you are clear to them. Even if I'm raising my voice, because sometime you will have to, because they know how to charm you, you know that. And you tell them, it's not because I'm raising my voice or I'm not happy with you that I don't love you. This is two different things. And you say that at a very young age, 3 years old, because they know what they are doing. 100%. They'll charm you, they'll push you to the border for you to say yes.
That's a beautiful, beautiful distinction. I'd love to transition us to talk a little bit about Mary Magdalene. And I noticed that one of the offerings is the Magdalene course this weekend in San Diego, and in addition to the Mind Mastery. And so I'd love for you to share a little bit about the energy of Mary Magdalene and your relationship with her.
I nearly feel a little tenderness, a little...
I feel that.
You feel that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can speak a lot on Mary Magdalene and the relationship with Jesus. How many years in the Catholic culture we've heard she's a prostitute? How is it 3-4 years ago we heard she's a saint? Nobody questioned that? Nobody's questioning that?
I just had chills. Yeah.
Thank you. So, as it's time for the divine feminine, Mary Magdalene has all the qualities you can imagine.
Mm.
The tenderness, the strength, the sensitivity, the intelligence, the devotion, the discipleshiphood, the strict discipline, the service to its high, high level, facing jealousy from morning to night, enjoying intimacy. Life. Simple. And I'm bringing all this energy out on purpose because of the way the Vatican has treated her. I accept it at a point, but at a point I said no way. So being a specialist of energy, I do what I have to do with my work and bring her to be here. And you will see at a point that even those who go to church, they will have a devotion that they won't even know where it's coming from. Because the way I work is not only for one person or a group of people who is in a workshop. Whatever I do is for global enlightenment, meaning heart. I mean the love, the devotion, the faith, the quality of discipline, how she cherished Master. She surrendered. And she knew, I'm going to say she knows, she knew exactly what was important. Like when Master will come, instead of being in the kitchen, cleaning the kitchen, she will manage to be ready and just absorb the teaching. Inhale the teaching. Swallow the teaching. Keep it inside. All her cells will pulsate with the teaching. Breathe Master's energy, no matter what. And he was not always soft and gentle like everybody will think. He has a terrible temper sometimes. His anger was like I've seen a few masters having. Yes, he knew how to be angry. It was okay with her. Just take it in. Whatever was there. Whatever. Become a master like Master. This is the beauty of having, I will use the word having in our life, a mentor, a high evolved mentor, master or guru. Because we wish to be just like that. Just like that. I remember when Baba will walk and many will ask for something. I was just on my knees and say, Baba, just make me just like you. Just like you. To be able to love like you. To be able to give like you. To be able to expand your love like you. I just wish to be like you. That's all. Doesn't matter what, I've heard everything you can imagine of my guru. Everything you can imagine. It didn't bother me ever. Because I know he's transforming my life. That's what's the most important thing. And Mary Magdalene has that. She carries that strength of knowingness, the knowledge, the wisdom of being knowledgeable. Live a living knowledge, a living book. Everybody should read the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. The Gospel of Thomas was hidden, burned, because truth is there. And you look at any picture of Mary Magdalene where you see a skull, People don't even ask. They go to church, they go through this painting, they don't even ask to the priest, why is there the only place in the painting in the church? Why do we have this? It's all about the mind. It's all about the mind. And Durga has the same thing in the Indian mythology. A necklace of skull. It's about the mind. The day we are at peace with our mind, we're enlightened. Simple. Because we are born enlightened. Your child is born enlightened. Yeah. The environment, I used to say this when I will be giving workshop regularly. Okay, let's say you have twins tomorrow. Give me one, take one, and let's meet in 5 years. That's the power of Mary Magdalene. The power of devotion, and how she holds Jesus when he has to move into the light, how their relationship shift gear, transformed for the highest of his ascension, of his light body, how they work together in oneness. This is a sacred couple. You see, when I look at Buddha, Buddha left his wife. They have to work together towards the same goal. Enlighten ourselves, enlighten our relationship, enlighten our minds together, work together, do business together, take care of the kids together, cook together, make love together, whatever together, take bath together with the child. Play. In that playfulness, there's a moment where we have to be so focused, and she has this strength and ability to focus. And devotion took over because she surrendered. Well, it was not their first lifetime too. So.
I love that. I mean, I just really want to highlight that piece there of it's the union, it's the together, it's not, and that just as a paradigm for us all to embrace on this planet of, if we really want to make a world that works, we have to work together.
Beautiful. Oneness consciousness.
Yeah.
Start at home. Just the two of you.
Yeah.
You are lovers. Be in oneness consciousness. Be the Kama Sutra. Be the oneness of the heart. Don't allow the ego to fight together. No. Oneness. And then be an example for your children. Be an example for your environment in oneness consciousness. And then you take it from there with your friends, with your colleagues. And it works. And you start to understand your minds. Mm-hmm. This is the power of the minds. When you use your higher faculties to master your life, your everyday life. Senses is one thing. And don't say sixth sense. It doesn't work. Sixth sense doesn't exist. There's only 5. You hear, you taste, you see, you touch. There's no sixth sense. What people call sixth sense is the higher frequency of faculties.
What I'm really hearing is what you're teaching is the art of living.
Absolutely. Living is an art.
Yeah.
Love is an art. Living together with your partner is an art. How big an art that is. To be there, to manage to be there when he's in his darkest time. And he's there for you when you're in your darkest time. Because the ego will grab you. And each other, you have to be there for each other. In the Indian culture, we are taught that we are a saint for each other, a friend for each other, a god, a goddess for each other. That's how I was educated. Mm-hmm. So be there for each other. It can be very difficult. I don't say no. And then I tell you one thing. If it's a struggle, leave that relationship. Be by yourself for a while. Study yourself. Get to know you. And then move to a new relationship. Because the relationship cannot go further. So why struggle? Why be in pain? And don't think because you have small children you should not. Because the children know everything. They feel everything.
Yes, they do.
They were inside of you. They know you probably better because they are living inside of their own higher faculties until a certain age. So they know their intuition, they know their perception, like this.
Oh, I'm constantly blown away by my daughter's it's just mind blowing what she knows and just the things that she says. And
soon she will tell you if her grandmother wants to take her to church, she will ask why to go be with God. I am God. She will say that.
Yeah, it's so true. It's amazing.
And unfortunately, many adults, when children of 3, 5 years old ask what is God or who is God, they can't answer. Lack of knowledge. So these children has different consciousness.
Wow. Well, this has just been such an amazing conversation. I so just honor you and the work that you're doing in the world, and I'm just so inspired. So thank you. And
I have been invited to come back to San Diego to work with a group of women. We could work together.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. So I will see you tomorrow with my little ones, both of them. So last time you met the one, and now this time I'll bring both of them. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for bringing all of your knowledge and enlightening us today, and for everyone who's going to watch this recording. So I just really, really appreciate you and honor you, and thank you.
It's been delightful for me, and it's with great, great love, great joy, great gratitude that I thank you for everything you're doing, and thank everybody. And I give you all my love, and use my heart, use my love as a ladder to be yourself, to enjoy yourself. And you know, my blessing today to you is, even if somebody has hurt you, let it be. Just come to my love. It's right here for you, available.
Feel that. Thank you.